Hello, this is a brief video about the U3H piano here, which is made in 1974. It's just come into stock from a container. It's one of my favourites. I've been playing it for a long time, and really appreciate this piano. Now, it's been fully restored in Japan, and wonderful high standard. There's a firm that we've been working for 15 years, and they've voiced this quite soft, really. We'll compare it with another one. Another piano from the same container. That's also a wonderful tone. So going back to the other one, it's ideal for a smaller room. In fact, very often people buy Yamahas and find they are quite bright for their home, so it's something important. We can always voice down other ones, but I do really like the tone of this. And it's around this area that's the most important, where you play the melodies, and then obviously the tenor area. And this one has a very rich bass too, but that's not so important really as the mid-tone. We've got three main sources of Yamahas. One is containers from Japan. The other one is ones that we hand pick from a UK distributor, and the other one is obviously ones that we've previously sold and been brought back in, or possibly just somebody offers them. Now this one, as you can see, is very well restored. The important thing, of course, really is the tuning pin tightness. Not necessarily the cosmetics, but are the tuning pins tight? How much hammer wear is, and how well regulated is it? And this is very well regulated. I'll take the Celeste off so we can look further. Now, if we look at these hammers, they look as though they've never been used. May be the case, because often in Japan the pianos were bought and really hardly used. It was just something the family thought they should do, is to buy a good piano. The set-off here, now they've regulated the dampers beautifully. They're all coming off at the same time. Let's have a look at those two dampers. But the set-offs could possibly be a bit later. Obviously they're erring on the cautious side. I'll show you what I mean by that. Now, this is something I haven't covered in other videos. The set-off button is there, and it relates to how far the hammer will go to the string. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that properly. Let's have a look through. I've got the adjuster here. There, let's go right down, and you can see the button there. Sorry, probably not a very professional video about this. I'm trying to focus it as well. There we are. You can see the button there, and that's the set-off adjuster. And the idea is to try and get it to set off as close as possible, but within a safety margin. So if you look at these two, I've regulated one of them so that it gets a bit closer, and we'll see if we push them without playing. Let's look at them, getting them both moving together. So there we are, starting together. Let's have a look which one goes furthest, the left-hand one. And quite a lot further, really. I think they can be a bit more finely regulated. As I say, it's within a margin of safety that they've operated, so that they can be sure that they do come back. I'll show you what I mean by that. Now I've over-regulated this one, so it doesn't come back. And if you're not careful, if you get them too close, they could, on soft playing, not come back at all. So that was just an extra turn I put on it, so I'd take that off again. So I'm just winding the set off down one whole turn to take so that it's within the margin of safety now. So setting off as late as possible. Top quality pianos are refined like that, so that you get the set off as close as you possibly can, and it makes a lot of difference for a top pianist who feels he can get much quieter playing, which you can do. So you can play that loud, and let's try the next one. See, it doesn't work at that volume. And this one, I'm playing the same amount, pushing them exactly the same, and that when we're getting consistent playing, you can hear it consistently. This one the same, it comes back too early. Silent pianos, by the way, they set off much later, unfortunately, and so you can't get the same very quiet playing. So I recommend for silent pianos, it's better to, if you can, to buy a digital piano and an ordinary piano, and then you have one of each. In our home we always did that, and means that you can get two people practicing at once, one on the digital, one on the ordinary. That's just a few brief thoughts about this Yamaha U3H, made in 1974. Other videos have said other things, but this one I just wanted to draw attention to the fact that it's voiced so beautifully. And I found myself wanting to play this piano, and there's always something some pianos just have something special about them. All our U3s are wonderful, obviously, but they vary. There's a really rich bass as well. If you have a small room, this is ideal. If you have a large room, you might want more power. But a lot of people have very bright Yamahas in small rooms, and they really should be more mellow like this one. You can obviously mellow a bright piano. It's much harder to brighten a mellow piano, much more difficult. The touch is obviously superb, though we did talk about very fine regulation, which we can certainly do, and we do check the pianos, of course, before they go out once they're sold. The piano came beautifully. We haven't tuned this since it arrived. So coming on a container from Japan, arrived here at A441. That's wonderful service. It's such a good firm that we've been working with for a long time now, and they know exactly what to do. Thank you very much for listening.